Okay, it's
Okay, wait a minute.
starting record.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's okay, Mister.
Okay, let's
Okay,
go.
wait. Okay, yes, that's true. Okay, this is the protocol COVID-19, guys. The first one, we have to use our mask. And then the second one, we have to wash our hands. And then the third one, we have to keep our social distancing. And then the second rules is there's no crowds people allowed on the special occasion. For example, like on the wedding, on the if we want to hang out on the cafe or we want to hold the party, it has to be the maximum capacity to hold the meeting itself, right? So, for example, like on the wedding, it has to be hold the capacity is 500 people, for example, like that. So there's no crowds allowed people. And then the third one, there is a time shifting, guys. There's a time regulation. For example, like if you want to hang out on the cafe, the maximum time it has to be until 10 p.m. It's already done. The cafe or the restaurant has already get closed until 10 p.m. That's the protocol of COVID-19, just like the intermezzo to make us easier to uh, know about the protocol itself. And then the next slide, okay, the next slide, yes. The next slide. If there is a protocol, so it means that there is a rule. And if there is a rule, so it means that there is some people that wants to break the rules itself, right? It's like a traditional, there's a traditional, if there is a rule, so it means that there is offense. Okay, as you can see on the picture, guys, there are a lot of cases. There are a lot of cases that already happened. As you can see on the picture, in Indonesia, polisi bubarkan pesta pernikahan. The police banned the wedding day, the wedding party, because it's over the capacity. So it means that the police with the Satgas COVID-19 have to ban the wedding itself. And then in the right picture, as you can see, guys, there are a lot of customers of the cafe that have to be banned by the police of the and the Satgas COVID-19 itself because it's over the capacity and there's no time regulation. So from this case, we've known that police and Satgas COVID-19 is really what it really wants to help the government to reduce the number of COVID-19 itself. This is the case of the indoor case, but actually, the next slide, there is the outdoor case too, guys. Yes, that you've already known. Okay, yes, that's true. This is the case on the outdoor. As you can see on the picture, guys, langgar protokol kesehatan fun bike dibubarkan petugas. Okay, even though fun biking, as we know that biking is one of the favorite sport in Indonesia too. Even though this is a sport that can make us have a good healthy, but fun biking also involves 1,000 people, invites 1,000 people to make the crowded people, right? So that's why it has to be banned and it has to be prohibited by the police and the Satgas COVID-19. And actually, I personally is really respect for the police and the Satgas COVID-19 because they really help the societies to reduce the number of COVID-19 itself. So that's why they have to prohibit the event that. But suddenly, as we can see, guys, and the next slide. I don't know why. Yes, and the next slide, Mister. Yes. Suddenly, jing jing, there are a lot of mass demonstration. Okay. Yes, as you can see on the picture, guys, there are a lot of mass demonstration on end of October. Yes, I forgot about the exact time. It's about already happened. First, that breaks about the protocol COVID-19 itself. Okay, the next slide. Suddenly, the next slide. Okay, yes. The next slide. Jing jing. There are already a crowd of people too. There are a lot of crowded people. There are a lot of jam'ah. How to say jam'ah? Yes, there are a lot of pilgrims that welcome Habib Rizieq on the airport. Wow, it almost 3 billion people on the airport that only welcome Habib Rizieq on the airport. This is not only the Jakarta people, but there are a lot of people that wants to sacrifice themselves from Sabang until Merauke, that wants to see Habib Rizieq at the airport. Wow, how can it be, right? I mean, like, he has a lot of followers. There are a lot of people that want to sacrifice themselves to meet Habib Rizieq itself, to welcome Habib Rizieq in Jakarta. Okay, this is the mass demonstration. This is not the mass demonstration, but this is the crowded people that breaks the protocol COVID-19 itself. Okay, the next slide. The next slide. Not only in the airport, but after that, what is it? Habib Rizieq also continue his event in Maulid Akbar in Petamburan in his house, and there are a lot of crowded people, more and more in his house, like giving a speech. His Habib Rizieq has to give a speech, so that's why there are a lot of pilgrims too in his house. And my question is, why there are a lot of people that can allow to hold this meeting? I mean, like, as you can see, guys, on the previous picture, there are a lot of police and Satgas COVID-19 then that can ban the wedding day, and then can ban, what is it, the restaurant or the cafe. I mean, like, Satgas COVID-19 really wants to reduce the number of COVID-19, but how can it be? This is Maulid Akbar, and then there are a lot of crowded people too in the airport, but there's no one from police and there's no one from the government too that can stop this event, that can stop this meeting. How can it be, right? That's the big question. Okay, the next slide. Okay, the next slide. So what did the government do when Habib Rizieq hold the meeting on the last week? Yes, government gives 20,000 masks to Habib Rizieq's event, right? And then because there are a lot of people that critics to the government finally released that they have to give punishment to Habib Rizieq to pay the fee. It's around 50 billion. So yeah, because there are a lot of already critics the government, so government gives what is it? How to say it in the fee? Yeah, give a fee around 50 billions to the to Habib Rizieq itself. And actually, it is more and more not talking about the money, guys. It's about the justice. It's about the fairness. That how can it be that police and Satgas COVID-19 can ban the wedding day and then can close the cafe or the restaurant, but why Habib Rizieq only been given the punishment to pay with money? I mean, like, there are a lot of owner of cafe, there are a lot of owner of the restaurant that can pay the money if they want to open the what is it? They want to open their cafe or they want to open the restaurant. It's not talking about the money, but it's talking about the fairness. It's talking about the justice. So that's also appear a big question. Why, right? Okay, the next slide. Yes, the next slide. Yes, it's appear a lot of questions. The first one is double standard. Okay, just click it, mister. Just click it because it's like a delay. What is it? This like, yes, this like a transition. Okay, the first question is, there is a double standard of protocol COVID-19 itself. It's undeniable, guys. There is a double standard. I mean, like, how can it be that the cafe or the restaurant has to be closed, but the event of Habib Rizieq itself doesn't be closed by the police or by the Satgas COVID-19? Where is the BNPB itself? Where is the ED? And the second question, where is the consistency of the Satgas COVID-19 itself? Where is the BNPB? Where is the ED? Even Jaring SID say about one wrong word, ED Bali already sent him to the jail. I mean, like, where is them right now? Why they are not trying to stop the meeting today? Because it can also increase the number of the COVID-19 itself, right? And then the next one is, should we have to need a PSBB? Yes. As you can see, guys, there are a lot of mass demonstration. There are a lot of crowded people. So should we have to need PSBB anymore? I mean, like if the one already be open, just all of the others also open too. In Indonesia, longgar satu, bongkar semuanya. Yes. If the one already open, just make it open the others, like cinema, restaurant, cafe. It's about the justice. If we are talking about the justice, right? So that's the question that appear in our mind too. Okay, and the next slide. The next slide. Okay, yes. Okay, probably I will ask the opinion in the end of the slide because the slide already wants to be end after this. Wait. Okay, so this is also interesting to be told, guys. There is a news that Wagub DKI claim belum ada lonjakan kasus corona usai demo Omnibus Law. Yeah, there's also a big question. I mean, like Omnibus Law involves 1,000 people from Sabang until Merauke, but the question is why there's no increasing number of COVID-19 itself. Have we already been the fast of the herd immunity? Is it, guys? So that's also my question. So that's why after Omnibus Law, and then there's after after Habib Rizieq event itself, it's like why there's no increase in the number of COVID-19 itself. Okay, the next one is, yeah, the second question also that also being a question is, okay, the next slide, Mister. Okay, yes, this is also the question actually. Okay, this is also the question actually. Why him? Who is he? It talks about Habib Rizieq again. Why him? Who is he? And then what is his influence to the country actually? Why there's no government, or why there's no one that wants to stop Habib Rizieq event or Habib Rizieq meeting? As you can see, guys, as we know that Habib Rizieq is the founder of FPI. FPI is Forum Pembela Islam. And then FPI is the big mass organization with the big followers in Indonesia from Sabang until Merauke. So he is the founder, one. And then the second one is Habib Rizieq is well known as the leader who has a firm personality. See, he is well known as the person that has a perceive how to say it, guys. Yes, perceived personality. So that's why probably it can be the reason too why there are a lot of people that wants to that is really hard to stop him. Next one, the next slide. Yes. Okay, the next slide, probably it is my best only my assumption, guys. It's like why everybody really wants to welcome Habib Rizieq on the airport. It's like because societies already has trust issue to the government for especially for Muslim. So that's why the arrival of Habib Rizieq itself is like a new hope. So that's why everybody wants to sacrifice themselves, even though the mother of 2 children from Aceh, yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, really wants to sacrifice herself to walk from from her city to airport. Wow, how can it be? Why everybody can love them so much? Because based on my assumption, it's like the arrival of Habib Rizieq itself is like a new hope, because Habib Rizieq can be, what is it? Because Habib Rizieq can be the person that against the government itself. As you can see that the case of this problem, it's like already start from the movement of 212, and then Omnibus Law. There are a lot of pro and contra. So that's why the arrival of Habib Rizieq itself is like a new hope for the societies. Okay, and then the last slide. The last slide, I just want to quote. Okay, the last slide. Yes, Mister, the last slide. Okay. Yes, this is the interesting topic. I think that this is the interesting quotation. I think because Mata Najwa said in the Mata Najwa Narasi TV say that pilih-pilih urus pandemi. Yes, it is really interesting because right now it seems like the country only allow some people to hold the meeting, but the others can have to be closed or can have to be banned. So it's like pilih-pilih urus pandemi. And not only Habib Rizieq, but actually there are a lot of credit people too that already happened, that still exists right now. It's about the election of the son of Jokowi itself in Medan and Solo too. So how about the next of election too? It's also involved a lot of crowded people. So that's the question, guys. So my question, my what is it? My attention, our attention to discussion today is, where is the consistency of Satgas COVID-19 itself, and then why him? What happened in Indonesia right now? Why police and Satgas COVID-19 seems like having a double standard? So that's all for me. So how about you guys? What do you think? Well, it's really a long slide. Apologize, guys, that I think that I have to explain it until the end. So I just want to give, yeah, just throw the forum first. What do you think, guys? My assumption why there are a lot of people that want to sacrifice themselves to welcome Habib Rizieq or support Habib Rizieq, because the arrival of Habib Rizieq itself is like a new hope to our country, that can be the person to against the government, that can make the omnibus law fail, because you know that Habib Rizieq has a big follower, has a big mass, and then he has a firm personality that can be against to the government. So how about you? Do you agree with that or not?
Well, you can choose. There are many persons want to respond your statement. They have right, and you can choose them.
So I just choose randomly?
Yeah.
Mister?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay, so I will choose the one that already turned on the camera, Mr. Aji. Because you are the only one that only turned on the camera. Where is your camera, guys? So we can brainstorm together. Yes. Okay, so how about you, Mr. Aji?
Oh, okay. In my opinion, this problem was started when Jokowi was elected as in second term of his position as a president. At that time, the mass of people who are disagree with the decision from KPU were going to the street because there is a lot of injustice on that about the counting of the votes. From there, the problem is started in the interest of the constituencies behind of the Jokowi itself. Who's the constituencies of him? A lot of oligarchies who have a business in a black business, it could be mining and so on and so forth. They are the one that promote Jokowi to be elected again with a cost around 17 trillion. In the situation, they need the feedback after he will be elected, and he has been elected as a president. So after that situation, the policy that is issued by our government is always reflecting the interest and also the desire of the oligarchy itself. And one of the tangible results like omnibus law. But before that, there are so many changing in the law that is only benefiting to oligarchies. So I want to give a perspective about political distinction about majority and elites. Elites always having moral hazard with the majority. In the very little case about tax redistribution, elites needs less while majority needs more. For example, to reduce the inequality, but elites doesn't want to be downgraded. And then when we look at the cases in everything, we can see that only the interest of the elites that has been fulfilled by our government. In the end of it, it will causing the moral hazard in our dynamic of politically, economically, socially. When we see the inequality in Indonesia right now, 2020 is more than 60% of wealth of our country is owned by only 1%. So of course, people like me, like usual majority, feel, oh my God, this is very injustice. I need my justice. How I can represent my justice? Of course, just going to the street, because when you're saying in the bureaucracy by yourself, it is like useless, impossible, because they do, even though they know the truth, they will not hear you because they have the interest that they should be protected. And then in this case, when HRS coming, HRS, whatever you're going to say, he
Yes.
came to our country.
Yes. The acronym HRS. Okay.
HRS, okay. So in this political situation, elites, extractive government, supported by elites, always doing the first case for reducing the power of majority is doing the, what's that? What is that? Using policemen? I forgot the term. I forget.
Just say how to say.
I forgot the term. Repression, okay. Sorry, repression. I always do repression. When the majority doesn't able to complete the repression, so elites will do consolidation, but consolidation doesn't appear yet in the situation because majority have less power than the elites that use policemen or soldier to protect their interests. So after HRS gone to Saudi, we have no leader, for example, as a people, so strong leader that can move the people to do like mass demonstration. So with the absence of him, in my assumption, so we have less power to have a bargaining power to implement our interests to the executive government itself. So when he was coming back a few days ago, people hope that we can do a movement that can strengthen our bargaining power to the government. For example, to represent the interests. For example, and legitimizing that omnibus law, for example. Yeah. So, in my opinion, the one that stimulates this crowd of people turning to the street is the government itself, because they are doing moral hazard on policies that they have made. So, and then stressing out about the justice and about the fairness. So, when government imposes people to stay, come on, stay at your house, while there is no incentive from them, there's no compensation, so it'll be useless because people need to be fed. Okay, so the one that should be blamed, I guess, is the government itself. It's not the people like HRIs, even though I have some dispute with him, but it is a reflection of how injustice our country. Maybe there's my little sort of opening. I guess maybe the other will add more about this. Thank you, Mr. Anissa.
Okay, just call me Miss Uha. It's okay.
Miss Uha,
Miss
okay.
Anissa is like too formal. Yes. Okay, Miss Uha. Okay, thank you, Miss Aji. Wow, it's really good. I strongly agree with you, Mr. Aji. So, in other words, do you strongly agree that actually the arrival of Habib Rizieq can be a new hope among the societies, right? Because
yes,
he can be the person to be against the government. Yes. Okay. The answer is yes.
He has de facto political power, we call it in political science.
Yes. Okay, I got it. Okay, so okay, there's no one that turned on the camera except you, Miss April, and then Mr. Rafi. So what do you think, Miss April? The perspective of women. Okay, what do you think, Miss April? Mr. Rafi directly turned off the camera. Okay, how about you, Miss April?
But I'm not raised my hand, Miss.
Yes, but actually there's no one that raised the hand. But Mr. Kibo only.
Mr. Suni.
What is it?
Mr. Suni raised his hand. You can see that.
No, I can see it. Who is it?
Sunshine.
In participants.
Yeah, you can see on participants.
Okay, I apologize, guys. I can't see it because I'm only using handphone. I apologize to not see it, guys. Okay, Mr. Sunshine. Yes. Okay, it's your turn. How about you, Mr. Sunshine?
Okay, thank you so much. So there is somebody like there that blaming others, and here we got someone that want to apologize. So it's that. Okay, thank you for the time anyway. Okay, guys, I believe that there is a progressive conditions we have regarding COVID-19, as we believe that COVID-19 right now becomes smarter, because the COVID-19 can actually choose cautiously the crowd that should be punished and the crowd that
Yeah.
should be ignored. Okay, so this is an interesting fact because I do agree what has been said by RG regarding basically the law itself only is set up as a tool or an instrument to justify the action of those who will get the profit the most from every policy and law that have been imposed towards society. So we see a very clear injustice happening in the middle of this pandemic. And of course, our society got tired of this circumstance. And to make the matter even worse is that the government, uh, I ever heard the ILC, you know, so the case of HRS is actually 300, is actually the 389 case, okay, but of the crowd, of the massive crowd joined with less protocol, with less COVID-19 protocol is over there. But at the time, from 1 up to 388 cases was left ignored, was left unpunished, seems like our government turned blind toward these all cases. So when Habib Rizieq came to Indonesia and suddenly the government South all want to show up the weapons, their deep concerns toward the issue. So it seems like there is a differential treatment that we can expect from the government. It seems like there is something wrong with HRS. So this is something that clearly show you that HRS is not just any individual. Yeah.
Yes.
It means that he himself has a great potential to overthrow the government. Or maybe if you would like to see the bigger picture, okay, so the government or a part of the government would like to make HRS as a piece of chess. How to say chess? Is it catur? Right?
Yes.
Chess. A peon. Okay, a pion or a peon, yeah. Okay, yeah, it's like a peon. I don't know how to say, how to pronounce it. Yeah, it's like a peon. Okay. Yeah, it's okay. I say peon. Okay. Okay, please correct it, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah, it's only something that can be wasted. So there is someone behind the background would like to make HRS as a part of the big scheme. Yeah. So there is a big scenario that we do know because some people, all of us probably, or only me, that can be easily distracted by some provoking news because the media was controlled by the one who has the biggest authority and who else but government, right? So of course we should be careful in reading the media itself. And this is actually the post-truth era because basically we were drawn into absorbing pieces of information that we believe as a truth. So this is dangerous because we couldn't see someone that can compare, give us a balanced comparison, which one is fake, which one is true. All the information can be easily bought or can be easily brought by so many people, regardless of race, religion, and whatsoever. So yeah, despite explaining those random things, I like to say in regard to HRS. Um, basically, this case can be a true evidence on how our society themselves look at, control, evaluate the action of government. Okay, because no matter what, no matter how we would like to, uh, how to say it, uh, design or make ourselves up, like appear I'm so handsome, but actually not. Okay, appear like I'm actually wealthy or rich, but I'm actually not. Okay, how to say, titik all ketoro. Yeah, it is a Japanese proverb. Okay, so how to translate? Okay, okay. So no matter you keep trying to bury your lies. Somehow, someday, some people will finally find out the truth. Will finally soon be revealed to the people, and the justice itself cannot be buried, no matter what. Just wait for the time. I think that's for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Wow, it's really good. There's someone that talk about the real Rizieq is Mr. Sunshine. Wow, how can it be the real Mr. Rizieq? Yeah, Habib Rizieq. Okay, so I'm interesting with your statement that our societies already get tired, so that's why it's like a new hope for the society itself. And HRS is actually not individual because he has the power, and there are a big scenario that already it's like a strategy of the government probably to what is it to yeah to take down the Habib Rizieq itself. So how about the others, guys? Is there anyone that wants to give the opinion more? Please remind me, guys. I'm afraid that I will not see who wants to raise the hand again. Okay. So how about the others?
There is no one.
So
Raise
I
your
will
hand.
just oh there's no one that raised the hand. So I just
Time is
randomly
yours.
it's okay.
Yeah, time is yours.
Okay. So how about
Ibu.
Mr. Kibo? Do you want to say something, Mr. Kibo?
I give the opportunity to other first.
Also, yeah. And then you are the conclusion. You are giving the conclusion. Okay, so I will choose randomly. Okay, Mr. Fatan Abdillah. Yes. Okay, so how about you, Mr. Fatan?
Yes, thank you for the
Yes. Okay,
opportunity.
my pleasure.
So yeah, sorry I just joined in and I don't hear anything from the beginning. But if we talk about the higher S, not the uh COVID entirely what happened in the country because I don't have any rights to talk about that. And but let me talk about my opinion about the phenomena of higher S that came to Indonesia because we need to take look back what happened in the few years back, and that's what effect until now because you know all the thing that happened today from two parties from two sides of of the the citizens of our country that uh, in one side the people that pro to the Rizik Sihab and another one is contra anything that he do another side is really love everything but the other side always contra about everything that Habib Rizik Sihab is doing. So also about the COVID, the how to say the kerumunan, the
Crowd.
people that gather together, 10,000 people, more than 10,000 people. Yeah, that's if we see that's a mistake in this pandemic. But maybe from the Habib Rizik Shihab followers, they got provocation or they just miss their uh, their leaders 3 years. That in their belief, these leaders cannot back because the government, and somehow in this pandemic, their leaders is back to Indonesia and they really miss him, and they do something ceremonial and something like that. But you know and then another side said uh oh, you do really bad things, and they provoke it, they but full of hate. And then after that the response from the Habib Rizik side is say your your how to say how your Habib also do the something, your leader also do the something in the solo, in the another Maulid before Habib Rizieq came, and it will never end. That debate is never end, and I believe this happened because the government mistake in the past, since maybe 5 years ago, since the Ahok things, the penistaan agama things, because I don't know this also from the HTI, HCI, Hizbut Tahrir Indonesia, because you know government until now still hate the HTI. Even HTI don't have physic, don't have anything, don't have organization, don't have uh, legal anymore. So then government always and then that's also follow the election of the president. Then it's like the Jokowi supporter is really nationalism, and another than that is really radical and something like that. And they said another than Jokowi follower is related to HTI. Even in that side actually is not the same. Salafi, HTI, maybe I can say party of PKS is not the same. The ideology is really different, and not all the people is think about khilafah. That's why this always provocated. And another one also said, hey, just follow the president, but the president is also anti-critics, about the critics. They always say there are so many radical in this country, but they cannot do anything. They don't jail people because they cannot prove anything. Then that's why happen. This hate always happen. They always find the mistake, and also the Rizieq side, the another side of the government also will always find the mistake of the government, and then the government will find. I don't see any conclusion of this. I don't see anything that will finish this. What you want? You want to sweep up all the radical things, but you don't have clear definition who is radical. The HTI is gone now. No legal, no anything, no organization. We don't know, and something like that. So I just ask you to don't involve in this conflict. Always see everything in objective. So they have, how to say, the yeah, don't uh involve in anything about this hate conflict, because we always see how to see this problem clearly, and we need to find the clear solution in the future, because we cannot say, oh, you are radical. Yeah, but use a different name. HTI still exists, but which one? Same like the Rizieq side said communist is still exists, PKI is still exists, but which one? We don't know. We can say anything is still exists. If that's really dangerous, so just bring that to the court and put them in the jail. But government cannot do that because they cannot prove that. So they still provoke this anytime, because they just don't want to feel loose to these people. Same like these people think they don't want to feel loose to the government. So they gather people, they make, oh, this is the revolution of akhlak, something like that. And this will happen if we don't know what is the solution of this conflict actually. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Patan. Yes, that's true. I mean, like nowadays, it's really hard to prove which one is true or which one is wrong, because media always manipulates the data. Media always manipulates the truth can be the wrong and the wrong can be the truth. Yeah, it's really hard to make it different in this era. And then I strongly agree with your statement that government will always find the mistake by to Habib Rizieq itself. And it's already proved that yesterday Anies Baswedan, and then Anies Baswedan already has been called by the police. And actually, yeah, it doesn't make sense that Anies Baswedan has to be called by the Ministry of how to say dalam negeri, Ministry of Home Affairs. But the reality, how can it be the police call Anies Baswedan? It's also like the strategy actually to just blame that event, to just blame the Habib Rizieq, but with the Anies Baswedan first. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So how about the others, guys? What do you think? Is there anyone that wants to give the opinion or wants to give the new perspective from your side? Okay, is there anyone?
Seems like Miss April and also Angko Maushi, you can try to look at the participant. Two of them raise hand and you can choose one of them first.
Yes, Miss April already turned on the speaker. Do you want to say something, Miss April?
I want to try to tell my opinion, Miss.
Okay, Miss April.
Maybe a bit different with the other. Uh, I want to give my opinion in my humanity side, maybe, because I don't really interest in political and other. But
Yes.
as a human, we also have to consider what he have done. Uh, Maybe if it's because of belief, I think. Uh, or a religion maybe but I think everyone have their own belief, but we also have logis, we blessed with a logis, so we have to consider also if it is a good things to come with a crowded people to come to the airport and the event. So for the humanity one, I think it's not good already. And about the Habib Rizieq as a big figure, I think uh, we cannot say because of that one condition that he is a bad person or he is wrong, but maybe he have the good one side, but uh, we just see the problem. But I
Is
think
it
as a big
possible
figure,
to
uh, okay, as a big figure, I think he has to
to
be the good
keep
models for the
the vibe
followers, I think.
during
So if
such a
he
restriction?
make
Hmm.
an event and he accept the followers to welcome him with that crowded, I think he have to think twice about what will happen. And then in about political pilkada, I think
Election.
now it's yeah, about pilkada, right? You're talking before Mr. Aji or Sunshine talk about. Uh, I think in millennial era we have we can think and we can consider already which one is the best leader or which one is the worst one. So uh, I think it's not only about the political pilkada and another, but maybe he have another plan like that. And my question is if he is truly come for the good one is the first one is why he came at pandemic and why don't he come the next year or before the pandemic? Why should he come now like that? So maybe that's my opinion for from the humanity mindset maybe. So because I don't really interest in political and I don't like the sensitive one of political. Thank you guys.
Okay, thank you, Miss April. Okay, Miss April is trying to say that it's talking about humanity. I mean, how can it be that this is the pandemic situation, but it's not the best timing to come back to Indonesia and makes a lot of that in 5,000 people welcome him. So it's not the best timing. And then Habib Rizieq is one of the biggest figure, the big figure that has a lot of followers. So it means that he has to be the example that has to be a good example to what is it to be a good example to uh, how to say mematuhi, yeah, to implement the protocol of COVID-19 itself. And then Mr. April said, asked that why he has to come back in this pandemic situation. And actually, this is based on my assumption why he has to come back on this situation because this is like a series of disappointment, guys. In Indonesia, rangkaian kekecewaan from the omnibus law itself. You know that actually there are a lot of mass demonstration about omnibus law, but there's nothing happened. The omnibus law still has been legally. So that's why, because there are a lot of reports from FPI to Habib Rizieq. Habib Rizieq has the initiative to wants to come back to Indonesia to be against to the government. That's only my assumption. This is my only my thought. So what do you think? Or how? What the others guys? Because this is like a series of disappointments. So that's why Habib Rizieq has to come back soon to this month to make the omnibus law itself that still yeah still have to be talking about the omnibus law itself. So how about the others? Is there anyone that raised the hand? I'm so sorry if I don't see it.
Angrumausi.
Who is it?
Angrumausi.
Harumausi. Okay. Angrumausi. Okay. It's your turn, Miss. Okay.
Okay, hello all. This is my second time to join this discussion. And I would like to share my opinion about this issue. Since I'm living in the Central Java, I'm living in Semarang now, so I want to compare about this protocol COVID-19 issue. Perhaps many of you didn't know or didn't notice that in the last uh, September, in the end of the September, there was there was a case about vice chief of parliament from Tegal that he held a concert. He held a wedding ceremony, and it caused a lot of mass crowded. And at that time, the mayor of Tegal uh, can be brave and can follow the instruction from the Central Java governor, Ganjar, Mr. Ganjar. Uh, so he dismissed the crowd, and then tomorrow, um, uh, the Mr. Chief Vice Parliament of Tegal reported to the police, and then this case is still going on and had already in the first trial in the court in 9 November. So I think actually is can government is uh, here in Central Java can be consistent to and be brave enough to for everybody, for everyone that not follow the COVID-19 protocol. And so the chief police of Tegal also has been dismissed. So I think since this Habib Rizieq's case was being held in the Jakarta, I think uh, the government also can be brave enough as as the same as the case that has been held in the Tegal. I think that's my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Angro Maushi. Thank you very much. Okay, so Miss Angro Maushi
Yes.
asked about where's the consistency of Satgas COVID-19 itself. Actually, what is the English word of Satgas? Yeah, yeah. Just let's say Satgas COVID-19, right? Okay, so where is the
Okay.
consistency? Why there is like a double standard of Satgas COVID-19 itself? Yeah, that's also my question. Where is the question? It's where's the consistency by them that have to implement the real protocol COVID-19 itself? Okay, so how about the others? Do you want to say something, guys? Okay, so regarding to Satgas Task Force. Okay, Task Force of COVID-19. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, regarding to Miss Angromo, she said that about where's the consistency. Yeah, actually, when Habib Rizieq comes to Jakarta, comes to Indonesia, and then involves thousands of people, the government released that that Habib Rizieq has to pay 50 billions, right? Yeah, 50 billions. And actually, it's not talking about the money, right? It's about the fairness. I mean, like the owner of the restaurant can also just pay the money. Okay, I just want to close the government. I just want to close the restaurant. I just want to open the cinema. I just want to open the cafe. And then, okay, my fee is about, what is it? 50 billions. Okay, I will pay it. Like, so it's not talking about the money, but it's talking about justice, fairness. Yeah, it's about the consistency. Come back to the consistency topic again. Okay, so how about the others? Is there anyone that wants to say something?
Mr.
No.
Angga, Mr. Angga.
Can I?
Yes. Okay, it's your turn, Mr. Muhammad Robi. Okay.
Me or
It's
Mr. Rob?
Mr. Angga.
Oh, Mr. Angga. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I apologize, guys. Okay, Mr. Angga. Silakan, Mr. Angga. It's your turn. It's your turn.
Thank you, Miss Anissa, for your opportunity that you've given to me. And
Okay.
I, I wanna comment the previous explanation, saying that Habib Rizieq um, wants to reject the omnibus law, which is a hot potato right now in Indonesia. I'm afraid I disagree about this statement because,
Okay.
as far as I'm concerned, Habib Rizieq and his organization previously never joined or never rejected this omnibus law, as far as I'm concerned. They or he just now, please correct me if I'm wrong, want to reject or attack this omnibus law. As you can see, or as I saw yesterday or several days ago in his speech, Habib Rizieq still always uses religious issues to play his agenda. And regarding political and economic issues like omnibus law was put in the end of his speech. I don't know. Probably it's because Habib Rizieq and his organization wants to get the support from labor movement, student movement, or even farmers movement, which are growing up right now because they need their support because it's a hot potato right now. It is a hot issue. Therefore, they need to follow it. Otherwise, I see that it's still related to a political elites game. Why I say this? Because when we saw in the history, FBI and Habib Rizieq himself was
Okay.
built by um, general general in the military in the Reformation era in 1998. If you look at the history, FBI was built from Pamswakarsa. It was an organization established by military to um, membenturkan, how to say that, to
The form, yes.
sorry, yeah,
The
to
form,
attack,
Clash.
yeah, to attack the democratic movement in the Reformation era before. When students' movement wanted to go to the MPR building, Pamswakarsa was put in front of it to prevent the students' movement, because a military back then couldn't use its power, because the popularity of military back then was weak in the Reformation era. So they tried to find another way to tackle the students' movement or in general democratic movements. Hence, in short, after Reformationist era, they were growing up, right? As you can see in 2007, probably 13 years ago, they still they were still used to prevent the building of democratic movement or grassroots movements. They um, membubarkan, how to say that, they banned
Dismiss.
dismiss or banned many meetings of laborers, students that want to build their own organization back then. Or as you can see, 4 years ago, or 4 years ago in 2016, they tried to attack Ahok, right, as a one of the games of another figure of elites, um, which who I called Ahok, right, back then. They joined them. They joined the movement to attack Ahok, to use religion issues. So if I'm not mistaken, as far as I know, they always use religious issues. Seldom do they use economic political issues like omnibus law right now. Therefore, I do believe it's still a game of elites in Indonesia. For instance, a clear depiction of this was before Habib Rizieq came back to Indonesia. There was a letter from our military bin that that permit Habib Rizieq to came to Indonesia. It you could read that in BBC if I'm not mistaken. And yes, therefore, if we wanna put our hope to religious issues like FPI, I think we cannot stop the the omnibus law itself. Otherwise, in my viewpoint, we should build the grassroots movements to strengthen students' organization, labor organization, to prevent, to reject the omnibus law in Indonesia. However, we cannot divert our perspective to FBI and Habib Rizieq itself, because they are so famous, popular in Indonesia, uh, in the middle of our people. Why can they do that? I think we should emulate them to build our genuine movement in Indonesia. For example, as I wrote, they are so popular because they go to the grassroots societies to help them when there is a disasters um, like floods in Jakarta, right? They help them and so on. Therefore, many people are eager to involve in their movement. On top of that, in most of developing countries like Indonesia, India, Myanmar, and so on, religion issues are so effective to you know to put people attentions. Like in India, there is Hinduism issues. Myanmar, in Indonesia, we have Islamic issues, which are big, huge right now. And indeed, therefore, when one of the elites, one of the figures are playing these issues, many people um, and inevitably will involve with this movement, because the political awareness of people in terms of economic, politic, is still weak in Indonesia and other developing countries. Therefore, when there is one of the figures playing these issues, many people are eager to join this movement, like what's growing right now, like FPI and another another movement. The last another thing that I want to say is that related to the weakness of grassroots societies, grassroots movement. I I opine that grassroots movements right now are still weak. Um, uh, and it's like mencair. How to say that? They are not strong. They are weak. You can see in the omnibus law movements, students organization, labor organizations, they were easily separated by the government. Therefore, they could easily be banned because they were so weak or still weak. But I hope they are growing. However, on the other side, FPI has a strong organization. They are so solid, right? In every region in Indonesia. In addition, they also have a strong leader uh, called Habib Rizieq, Sihab. Hence, when governments wants to um, ban this organization, a government is kinda afraid because they have a strong organizations, many followers. They also have a strong figure. Hence, they can previously they were utilized by the elites, but right now they seem dangerous to the elites. Hence, in this condition, in this circumstance, governments is kind of afraid to ban them. However, as you can see right now, there is growing issues to to uh, to forbid these organizations. Like what's been done by our military right now. They try to, as I'm not mistaken, put many supports for other societies to support the government and so on. However, in my conclusion, we should utilize or imitate or emulate their good methods to build their own organization to strengthen the grassroots societies. I suppose that's all from me, Miss. Thank you. Maybe I will talk more later. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Angga. So, Mr. Angga says that right now government is in the position that kind of afraid how to ban this organization because it's really the biggest organization and then with a big followers. So that's why government will always find a mistake how to ban this organization. Okay, and then how about the others? How about the others, Mr. Hudori? Or yes, Mr. Hudori, probably want to say something?
What's the question?
Mr.
What?
Sunshine is raising his hand.
Yeah, okay. So, is there anyone that raised the hand?
Cikoneng Ilir. Cikoneng
Cikoneng,
Ilir,
you
there
want
is
to say
Ananda
something,
Raffi.
Cikoneng Ilir? Cikoneng,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's time for me.
yeah. You just come
Um,
and then you directly to speak up, okay?
Yeah, because Mr. Angga seems attract me. to deliver
Oh,
something.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm late. Perhaps I will announce or proclaim something that you have been declared before. And regarding to this issue, perhaps there is some failure from our government. The first is how the government eliminates HTI organization by the Perpu. It is the first time when there is the demonstration at the Jakarta. So it will, what is that? The erasing the or eliminating from the organization, it will be easy, but eliminates the opinion or the thought or a doctrine from that organization, it will be difficult or tough. For example, like PKI 2, the eliminate the what's that? The organization is eliminated, but at the previous time, and we can look at the book created by the one of the children of the PKI, under a title I brought to be a PKI. So for this example, we can learn how the doctrine or the what's the point of view every single person or every single people or organization will be difficult to be eliminated. But there is the different thing between the PKI and HTI. At the first time, PKI based on the what's that legal court. It is in the the court that PKI should be eliminated. But the HTI is different by Perpu. So Perpu is created by the president. It's not coming from the court. For the situation, sakit hati, how we can all sakit hati? The heartbroken
Yes,
people,
broken
Broken
heart.
hearted.
broken hearted, and the broken hearted or the follower from that organization. Perhaps we mobility, or perhaps from the other organization. So that is the way that um, uh, the organization will be bigger. But I don't say in the FPI there is a lot of the HTI member. I don't say that, but it can be based on the what's that based on the reality in the field. On the other hand, I will cite what is that? The Prof. Salim said at his statement in interview between Refli Harun and Prof. Salim in the conversation. They said, "I am saying too sorry. I hope it's not published at the social media." Mr. Salim said Jokowi doesn't clever enough to design this country. They said like that because yeah, at the previous time Prabowo is a symbol from the Muslim organization. When we take the reconciliation between Prabowo, so it will be over. But exactly there is the grassroots movement. There is the grassroots movement is not far to be end because there is some things issue they can eliminate. For example, how the opposition or the parliament opposition doesn't work well. If we look at the what's that the parliament opposition, only the one party that declare I am opposition, and it is PKS. And on the other hand, Democrat, like said, Democrat or PAN, they are only will follow. If I invite to be a minister, so I will follow the government. But if I don't get the opportunity to take a part for that occupation, so I will be opposition. And for this result, so the opposition parliament doesn't work well. So that's why there are a lot of grassroots movement, for example, FPI. On the other hand, kami and other, that is the grassroots movement, and they declare I am opposition from something untrue in our political system. To support the parliament opposition for that. And if we look at the Muslim, perhaps I will divide it at the two kind. The first is the traditional Muslim, and the second is the modern Muslim. And it is will be always different. For example, if we look at between the two parties of the Muslim or the biggest Muslim, it is the PAN and PKB. They will not in the same coalition. They always compete each other. It's like perhaps is that there are apa itu? There is tukang survei. How we can say it?
The surveyor.
A surveyor. Then surveyor will divide. Surveyor will divide to the two kind. The first, the outside of the right wing, and the inside of the right wing is from the right politic, or we can name it by the Islamic politic. The first is traditional wings, and the second, the modern wing. As the traditional is named by, we can we can say it as a NU, because NU only has a little university or school that is named by NU, but the modern that focus at the education or Muhammadiyah, we can call it as the modern, and it will be always different. So NU and Muhammadiyah will not in the same coalition every single competition, but the FA where this position could be, sometimes FA will in the same opinion or in the same thought with the modern Islamic for PAN. So PAN and PKS perhaps always in the same coalition, but NU will in the other coalition. If we look at today, so PKB is the one of the coalition member of the government that always support what government said. In the other hand, there is several too. They disagree with that. For this situation, so we can conclude that the first thing that how FA be bigger than before, the first is at the first arrival from HBS, because our government will permit it. Because I thought to, HBS will arrive to this country, so they will be bullied again, akan dibully lagi itu, like what we look at the social media. But unfortunately, there is the overload societies there, and they name as what's that? Nggak disuruh, gimana sih? they don't, itulah, they don't tidak disuruh, but sympathism, yeah, they are a sympathism for the welcoming back. So it could be, we can say the comeback, epic comeback that overload and the government falls, and after that, they will conduct the wedding party, the son of the HBS. So after that, they will change it. And if I look at the previous news, that is the one of Pangdam that declare I will erase it. I think it's also caused by how the government police, it is the chief of Polda, they are eliminated from that position. So perhaps the Pangdam will not, if they don't arrange their policy to be strengthened for this organization, so it will be eliminated from the others occupation. So that's why this, like, yeah. But I'm interesting when I read a tweet from the someone, government focus at the FPI, minister focus at the FPI, police focus at FPI, and the army also focus at FPI. And when all of institution will focus about the social welfare and their societies. Thank you. This is for me.
Wow, the interesting question that why when the government will pay attention to the social welfare, because everybody just pay attention to how to ban the FBI itself. Wow, this is really interesting. Okay, so in other words, Cikoneng, do you agree that what is it? The arrival of Habib Rizieq will be a new hope for this country? What do you think?
I don't think so, because there is something unique when we talk about the cleric or ulama in Indonesia. There are a part of cleric that will involve at the government system, but in the other hand, there are a lot of the cleric too that will not involve at the inside of the government, but in the outside of the government, like delivering the advice and others. So I don't think so about that, but it is interesting because it will be what in the good position when we talk about the opposition, because perhaps in 2024 there is the competition between left wing and the right wing, between Islamic Islamic parties and the National Party, and it is the something. And then when regarding to Mr. Angga's statement, is it the Islam or religious issue is the common sense from the developing country? Unfortunately, if we look at the America also or USA, we look at the racism also is the commodity issue from the educated people, because if we look at the society as the US, so they are the educated people, right? But they still trapped. They still be trapped at that issue. So the reason is not come from the issue that will come up, but the reason is how we design this country. Because president threshold is will only there are two candidates will compete each other, and if we not erase it, so it will be difficult to throw away the religious issue, to throw away the racism issue, and throw away the anything. Because if we learn from the experience, or if we learn from the America, from that contest competition also, Donald Trump and Joe Biden utilize the racism issue, because there is two candidates for that.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Yes. Good. Okay. Is there anyone that wants to give your opinion, guys, regarding to what is it? American doesn't use religious issue in general, but racial issues. Sure. Okay, Mr. Angus, comment on the group. Yes. Okay. So how about the others, guys? What do you think about Cikoneng statement? Is there anyone that wants to, yeah, I disagree with him or I agree with him? What do you think, guys?
Can I talk again? Sorry.
Okay, Mr. Fatan.
Yeah, now like I said before in group that actually this HRS issue is too little for our big country, because we still talking about the protocol in after these 9 months, almost 10 months maybe in the pandemic, but we still debate about this. We still the news is still only about the protocol, which one is good, which one is not, while other countries is moving forward to 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 how to say, to see the future after the pandemic. And I want to talk about the religion, not the religion, the conflict that always happened in Indonesia in the past years, because actually I involved in that two sides, in that two big sides. Another one, maybe many people said the, how to say, the desert lizard, kadal gurun, what, the the lizard of the desert. And another one said
Okay.
the cebong. How to say cebong in English? Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
too.
Yeah, little frog, just let's say.
Yeah, the lizard desert, the kadrun and the cebong. I live in Japan, and even here we feel that conflict. I feel the hate each other, but however I involved in that two two sides deeply, and I can see from two sides, and I think there's so many misunderstanding. That's the solution. The solution is to talk more with the others, the someone that we think rivals, but maybe actually our goal is the same. But because the cover of the media, the headline, the provocation, and anything, we always, oh, the kadrun, the lizard of the desert is always want to Indonesia become khilafah. Who want to become khilafah? Is if FBI never said we want to become this country to be khilafah. No, that's the motivation of HTI, and HTI is different from FBI. HTI is different of PKS. How can we say HTI same with PKS when HTI hates democracy, they hate party, and FBI from long time ago they always, how to say, like the little radical, but radical in the positive way. They how to say, the maxiat, they want to to swipe up the maxiat from Indonesia, but not want to make Indonesia be the Islamic country, because they their background is still Pancasila. And also it's not divide NU and Muhammadiyah. Now NU and Muhammadiyah is become one side, and another one uh is another side, like the Amin Rais gang, and then the PKS, and then the Salafi Wahhabi, they said maybe something, and then FPI, the Habib Rizieq Shihab gang. And now NU said Muhammadiyah is okay. Even now NU start to building university also, same like what Muhammadiyah doing until have been doing until now. So, from the PKI, the Kadron side, the Desert of Lizard also, they also said, oh, the NU, they want to make the Islam Nusantara, like they thought that is like the new religion or the upgrade of Islam, but actually it's not. And you just name that Islam Nusantara, so it's not become too Arabic, because NU hates Wahhabi, NU hates and not hates, they don't like that Indonesian is too Arabic, because we have our own culture from the long time also. But and the solution is, I think, yeah, talk discuss with another people that we only know from the cover, and try to understand the point of view of them, the point of view of our someone that we thought our rival, and we can see the point that, oh, maybe our basic of thing, our goal is the same, but we only see something different, something like that. I think, yeah, we need to, Indonesian people need to be calm to talk about every issue, because we have too many issues, from the religious one and from the 19 seconds one. That's too many to talk about this country. From the omnibus law one, that's very serious one. From the, I don't know, the the KKE, the TikTokers in somewhere else, I don't know. This too much we want to talk, but no one is come to the end. The omnibus law, we forgot about the UU of KPK. Then maybe next time government will build the new laws, and we forgot about the omnibus law. That's always happen. Our the weakness of Indonesian people is how to say, our memories is short. We hot really easy, then we forgot. So yeah, we need to talk about every topic until the end. Then we need to improve the level of problem that we talk. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Fatan. Yes, okay. So Mr. Fatan said that we are, as the Indonesian people, have need to be calm. So don't be so easily to be provoked, right, guys? So the solution for Mr. Fatan is we have to talk more about the issue that to talk about how's the future in Indonesia. So we have to talk more and don't be so easily to be provoked. We have to be calm. That's the Mr. Fatan solution. Okay, so wait, I just read the group. People want to speak. Miss Hana, Mr. Muhammad, and Miss Fitra, Mr. Rafi. Okay, who wants to be the first? Miss Hana, do you want to say something? Miss Hana, okay. Where is it? Miss
Okay,
Hana
thank you.
Damanik, okay.
Hello, can you hear my
Yes.
voice?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
I can hear you.
okay. Well, actually, I'm not a political observer, and I have only seen this Rizieq case occasionally. But to be honest, I'm really surprised to hear all of your opinion, how you discuss about this that deep. So my opinion about this case is, why is this happening is because Indonesian regulations are not strict. I take that as one of the conclusions of what you guys have said before. And as we know that Indonesian regulations seems depend on the persons, on the situations and circumstance. And beside of that, I think Indonesians, I mean, not all of the Indonesians, but many of Indonesians still tend to make their religious views like their god. So when they're talking about this, when they're talking about their religious views, they seem a little bit radical and barbaric. So they can't see what really happened and what the consequences of the situations. So in my opinion, I think there are two things that should be fixed for these situations that we face. The first one is us as the Indonesians themselves, like how we think about our belief and how we solve like our religious views, and then our government. So yeah, I think that's all about my opinion. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Miss Hana. So Miss Hana said that regulation in Indonesia is not really strict. So that's the things that have to be fixed in Indonesia. That regulation have to be implemented well, guys, because as you can see that there are a lot of cases that already not implemented well, especially with the protocol of COVID-19 itself. Okay, so how about Mr. Muhammad? Mr. Muhammad? Okay, where is Mr. Muhammad? Okay,
Hello.
yes, highlight.
Hello,
Okay,
everyone.
hello.
Okay, this is very nice group that I ever found during learning English for this special time. Even we can give different opinions, as I told you in the group that I'm a HRS lover, and however I can respect the differences in this group. I'm very glad to offer several solutions exactly for our discussion because I can see there are many brainy opinions and also intellectual opinions. And let me start from saying that I'm not really on the ball about the politics. Anyway, I can learn a lot from this group, and let me offer several things from our discussion. First thing first, we can be a part of solution for our country. In the same time, we can criticize the countries with all the government's opinion, with all their decision, omnibus law, and etc. But in the same time, actually, we can just prepare ourselves to become very nice Muslim if you are Muslim, to be very nice based on our religion. Because in Indonesia, we have a very basic understanding about this quote I can share with everyone. Um, Religious but modern, or modern but religious. And this is the nice time to share. If we don't really, we are not really strict about this, okay, well, maybe complaining about the issues that happened several days ago with higher scam, and also with COVID, with the protocol and etc. Even this is the best thing for us, because sometimes we discuss with a very high discussion and all of them still just in opinion, and we haven't prepared ourselves as the solution for 2025 for our country, because we know that every era has the figure and every figure has an era, or we can say like setiap tokoh ada masanya dan setiap masa ada tokohnya dan setiap masa ada masalahnya. And I'm sure now we can learn from what's happening from our country, and we can learn a lot from that, and we can learn and we can try to start from now. If we are Muslim, we can start from smiling each other and say salam to each other, praying subuh in the on time, 5 prayers, okay, and we read the Quran for every day. No matter we are NU, Muhammadiyah, PKS, or FBI or whatever, as long as our shahadat still asyhadu alla ilaha illallah, and that's really fine. And as long as our oxygen still from Indonesia, and the best thing what we can do for our country is that preparing ourselves to be the diamond for our country. Our country needs a diamond. The diamond is preparing right now by talking with small talk from this video live via Zoom, and sharing the opinion and sharing the instructions. And that's all what we can do. However, I can feel very comfortable from this group because we can share our opinion without any hesitance, and we can feel very nice point. So this I told you as the comment for everyone. We have, if I may suggest you, if I offer you several things that 20% of population for our country right now in 2020 who is preparing their best future, it is 100% the absolute thing for our country for 2045 later. So let's grow together from this place and discussing our country. We learn what can we learn, and then we grow what we can grow. Because with our decision is to learn, growing is a must. That's what I can tell to everyone. Thank you for respecting, and thank you for having this very nice chance. So remember, every era has a figure and every figure has an era. Let's prepare our heart to become the diamond of Indonesia. Thank you, everyone, and back to you. Bye-bye.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Muhammad. It's really energetic for this time. Okay, so Mr. Muhammad is trying to say that we can be part of our country, guys, because every situation has been exactly has a problem. No matter we are PKS or no matter we are Muhammadiyah, and then what is it? And the others, as long as we are having one shahadat, and we are, yes, we are promising one shahadat, so it means that we can be a kind Muslim, we can be a kind human. So just being a kind human. So that's the quote by Mr. Muhammad and this night. Okay, The next one is by Miss Afida. Is it true? Is it true? Yes, Miss Fida. Okay.
Anyway, I'm a
Okay.
male, so not miss yeah. Thank you for
Oh
this
yeah.
time, and I
Okay.
would say a huge
Mister Afida.
apology for my late because I face a bad news that my quota I just fulfill it and I need an hour for fulfilling my quota. Um, Yes, every yin has the yang. We cannot recognize the light without the darkness. So the imbalance, how to synthesize between the thesis and antithesis in the philosophical from the Socrates is much prominent in this discussion. How to imbalance anything. I mean, when we say about this circumstance, about the arrival from one of popular person in Indonesia, um, here Habib Rizieq. I think something that I want to emphasize here is he is a popular person. I mean, yeah, maybe we will say that it is, seems like injustice, but the way is matter. I mean, how the government make the harmony of the people is the way. I mean, is the matter that one the government manage. I mean, when the government give, yeah, giving smash maybe seems using military actions in the airport maybe, or something that is giving assault in the Maulid Nabi for giving the hardness in the protocol COVID. I mean, I think it will mix our government in the negative view in the Habib Rizieq supporter, and it will give a huge drawback for them in the political view. Maybe I'm false. I'm not a politician, um, but uh, it was happen. It was happen. So something that can we do is how to see the future after this circumstance happen, because we know that there are many problems that we face in this recent time. I mean, we see the Papua, I mean the fire of the forest that is not so give a huge uh, focus by the media maybe or our journalists and blended by the Habib Rizieq Sihab and COVID-19, or maybe the problems from our worker to face the omnibus law or the other issues and that is spread in this recent time. And Habib Rizieq Sihab is just one of our problem. I mean the protocol COVID problem, yeah, not our problem in terms of
Not the
our
person
household
itself.
problem. Yeah, but in terms of COVID-19, COVID-19 problem is the arrival from the crowdency, not the arrival itself, but the crowdency. That is the problem, the crowdency, not the Habib Rizieq Sihab. So how to see the after this happen? I mean, how to manage the drawbacks from this problem is the matter that we need to face and we need to tackle it. However, um, I just I just have a huge hope for our vaccine that will be published maybe in this few months, that is hopefully well researched and can spread it to our people. That is something that I hope in this recent time, because we need it, more needed rather than the others. Just it. Thank you.
Okay, so that's the statement from Mr. Afida. Thank you so much, Mr. Uh, it's really open our mind today. And then the last speaker, is it there is a last speaker? Okay, yes, Mr. Rafi. Mr. Rafi, okay, or is it Mr. Rafi?
Okay.
Is there still Mr.
Hello,
Rafi?
everyone.
Okay, yes.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, and it is my second time probably I joined this discussion. Probably my statement doesn't based on the political field and yeah another field, but it is just my point of view as the society. There are several points that I want to share to all of you related to COVID-19 and this phenomenon recently happened in our country. I suppose this phenomenon started from the trust of public. I mean, public trust about COVID-19. As we know that this problem it's been almost 10 months, right? And yeah, so many information had been shared to society, but I suppose that there's no the theme or consistent information. I mean, like the protocol and the information related to what is COVID-19 variative. So as the society, a lot of society didn't know how what COVID-19 is. Even for now, after 10 months, there are a lot of society in my village that don't understand about COVID-19. As we know that the regulation also that produced by the government, it's really broken because so many case or event that happened during this social restriction that still allowed by the government, or I mean the authorized, how to say authorized, or I don't know. So from this phenomenon about the regulation that broken, public cannot trust again about why I should stay at home while I need to work and I need to fulfill my needs, especially my grocery needs. But why the government push me to stay at home? So how can I find and how can I fulfill my needs? That's one big important thing as a society that should be survived during this quarantine. And also about the consistency, the government or authority to enforcing the so many issues and so many case and so many I mean so many case that related to social restriction, such as for the cafe that should be closed during pandemic, or the limitation of seat or quota, and the and about consistency of task force to enforce in the society, like the man who ride the bike without using mask, and also several stakeholders that held the event, like wedding ceremony, as some of you had told in this occasion. I suppose that it's kind of inconsistency of task force, and it's really ridiculous, I guess. And one thing that also important for the government that should be fulfilled is about prosperity. If the society should obey to the regulation that applied by the government, it means that government should fulfill the needs of the society. I suppose that if the society, the needs of society has fulfilled, there's no, there will not, there's, I mean, how to say, it will, there's no society that will break the regulation. I mean, like the social restriction and so on. That's all probably about my opinion. I'm so sorry about my delivery because yeah, you know, I still try to how to speak fluently, and yeah. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm so glad to join with you all again.
Wow, Mr. Rafi, are you sweating, Mr. Rafi? But you've already been good, Mr. Rafi. Your speaking is already good.
But
Okay,
I
so
suppose
that's the last tip.
Thank you very
So
much.
who is it? Okay. Who is it? Okay. So that's the last statement from the last speaker today, guys, because the time is already over. And then Mr. Ravi is trying to say that the regulation in Indonesia is not strict to implement the real protocol of COVID-19 itself, and it makes more trust. It makes more trust issue again by among the societies to the government itself. So I'm being the moderator today. Thank you very much for already joining to this class, guys. I give the closing to our host, Mr. Indrawanov. It's your time. It's your turn. Okay, to close the meeting today.
Okay, well, thank you so much for our impressive moderators that giving this topic tonight. And yeah, before we close our discussion, so there are the several vocabularies that you can see. Yeah, for example, it's like pilgrims, jamaah ya artinya. Terus tadi juga denda lain. Terus juga ada yang nanya juga tadi Menteri Dalam Negeri, Minister of the Domestic Affairs. Terus mematuhi OB, Satgas Task Force, benturkan bank, bisa jadi kata kerja dan noun. Terus membubarkan dismiss, inevitably, atau bisa menggunakan willy-nilly ya. Tapi yang lebih formalnya gunakan inevitably. Kalau willy-nilly non formal biasanya. Terus eager, dorongan, bisa mendorong cocoknya sini ya. Eagerness baru dorongan. Nah, terus mel, mencair, emulate, meniru ya. Nah, tersinggung tadi ada yang nanya ya, offended, ulama, cleric, kecebong, tadpole. Terus barbar ya, tadi barbaric tadi dari Hana kayaknya. Nah, jadi itu beberapa vocabularies yang ada. Juga tadi Raffi menggunakan kata suppose ya. Itu salah satu cara yang bagus karena kebanyakan kita menggunakan kata I think mulu ya. Jadi bisa menggunakan kata I suppose, I assume, I certain, dan masih banyak lagi. Nah, makanya kalau teman-teman belajar IELTS tuh vocabnya tuh harus bervariasi. Ya kayak Aji nih, Aji mau berangkat ke Amerika kan, Angga mau udah dapat beasiswa dan sebagainya kan, udah matang dia tuh belajar IELTS sampai habis. Ini banyak nih. Jadi teman-teman nih kalau yang belum tahu nih, orang-orang hebat semua nih dalam grup ini. Tapi dia calm ya, nggak kelihatan di situ. Banyak, berapa nih ada yang over LPDP, berapa nih udah ya pulang dari luar negeri, kuliah dan sebagainya, tapi kelihatannya calm aja. Jadi buat teman-teman semua, join OTA ini bukan belajar najamin wawasan aja, bukan tempat belajar bahasa Inggris saja, tapi juga tempat untuk narik relasi ya. Makanya jangan disia-siakan. Oke, itu aja buat hari ini. Thank you so much guys. So we're going to take a picture first. Let's go.
Turn up your slide.
Wait.
Close our slide first.
Okay, let's go. Fotoin Fit.
Me? Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, come on.
Ready.
Nomor 2, Fit.
Okay. Yes. 3, 2, 1. Okay, again. Wait. Hey, because I need to process it first.
Okay, once more.
Pasti ini pakai photoscape ini.
No, I just screenshot ya.
No. Oh, okay.
Okay, again ya. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay.
Okay, well.
So nice, guys.
Yeah, thank
So
you
nice,
so much.
such a sources.
Yeah, thank you for coming, guys. So see you in next weekend. El Ota.
Yesterday, you say tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yay.
Tomorrow, thank you very much, Kota.
Awesome.
New topic. Thank you, Ha.
See you all, guys. Thank you.
Silent is the
Sayonara.
Guys, bye.